Happy almost New Year. Thank you for joining us today, December 31st. Trying to remember if last time we had a Sunday on this day, but it's a special day. So thank you, those of you who are joining us in person and those of you who are online, as we hold this knowledge that all around this world, we are connected by this knowing that we're about ready to step off together into another opportunity to have the best year in history. Mm-hmm. Can we do it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's remember why we are here and what we can do to make this the greatest year ever. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve and remember, to love, serve and remember, to love, serve and remember, to love. Together. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come? Why have you come to love, serve and remember, 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 to love.
So let us take in those words as we open with prayer. To serve, to love, to remember. We are on a journey together. The journey to that peaceful place within that is not measured in miles. As we focus our awareness within, we follow the breath into our heart space. We allow each inhale to expand our sense of love and peace in the center of our being. Each exhale carries away the tension and distraction of things beyond our control and imagined limitations. In a time of quiet communion with the divine energy that infuses each breath and every thought with peace, we find rest and so it is. Amen. And now I'd like to invite Zane up to light the candle, our beautiful unity candle.
Good morning. It's the last day of 2023. I'm okay with that. It's been a very difficult year for many of us, many of the people in this room right now, and many of the people who are home watching this service. We all have our own stories, the particularities of our own situations, our own burdens. And so we have the opportunity today, right now, to set an intention. The intention to let those burdens be, let them go. To the extent that we're able to recognize and unite ourselves, our minds and our hearts, our consciousness, with the radiant light that lives within each one of us, the fullness of who we are, the reality of who we are. Let us focus on that. Let us join our minds, our hearts, and our hands to be that, to do that, and to serve as the inspiration for one another and ourselves, dedicated to the radiance of the divine.
Thank you, Zaina. It is the last Sunday of the month. That makes it Prayer Sunday. So I'd like to invite Linda up to help me bless the prayer shawls. And this is one of the beautiful creations that Linda made. One of our prolific prayer shawl makers. Would you like to hold that? It has been beautifully said that out of a single strand of yarn, a fabric emerges that will eventually wrap itself around another's shoulders and speak peace into another's heart, a visual enfolding expression of the mystery of the healing power of love. We say thank you to those of you who give to this ministry through the graciousness of your hands of service. Your love is making lasting and compassionate statements to those who will receive them, and from that point of light, out energetically into the world. Again, so we bless all the prayer shawls. Look around, they're scattered throughout the sanctuary, so if you want to infuse them with your loving energy so that the recipient will be blessed by that, wonderful. And if you feel so inclined, by all means, join our ranks to create more prayer shawls. Thank you and bless you, Linda. Go ahead and take it with you. And now, Donovan.
Thank you, Inga. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to everyone watching on our live stream. I was trying to think of a little joke. Let's see. Join us in ringing in the new year, except for the next 50 minutes where please silence your cell phones. You get the message. I need to work on that. So please silence your cell phones so they don't ring during the service. So take a moment to make sure it's on silent. And if you're at home, you can have your ringer as loud as you want. Okay. All right, our January bulletin has been posted. Be sure to check it out at our website at unityofthevalley.org. And prayer requests. If you're in need of prayer for yourself, a loved one, whomever, or a friend, you can place your prayer card in the prayer box in the foyer right out there in the corner. There's some cards. You can just write in your prayer request. If you're not here, you can communicate with Julia, and her phone number's on the screen if you want to write that down. So please send in your prayer request that way. All right. Today, join us for soup in the fellowship hall after the service. Tuesday, 7 p.m. I always like looking at the posters for these. Oh, Samson and Delilah. That looks cool. It's going to take those pillars down. I didn't mean to spoil it. I'm sorry. I won't tell you what Delilah does. Okay, back to the announcement. Sorry. I can never do it straight. All right, 7 p.m. The Behind the Lens seminar movie is Samson and Delilah. That's on Tuesday at 7. It's followed by a Q&A session with Tom Blank. Very interesting, always fun and informative. It's $30 for the series if you want to go to a whole bunch of them and pay it in advance, or it's $5 per time. So that's Tuesday at 7 if you want to check that out. Next Sunday, Burning Bowl service. In this annual fire ritual, Reverend Inga will guide us in releasing what no longer serves us. It's a great service. And then first Sunday potluck is next Sunday. Yay. Please bring a main dish or salad and invite your friends and family. Unity will provide coffee, tea, and dessert. And that's all I had.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We are going to have an introspective, quiet sing-along today, so I invite you to enjoy it from your seats. And I'm going to turn it over to our guest musician today, the wonderful, beautiful Len Seligman.
It's so good to be here already, just with that intention of the candle lighting and some of those beautiful words in the beginning. I heard the word intention. Important word, right? You know, when we read the news, you know, we know the world needs peace. And we also know that peace begins right here. And we know that in every major spiritual tradition, peace, it's fundamental. It's an aspect of the divine. And we can just plug into that. So we're going to invoke the power of peace. May it reside in our hearts. May it spread throughout our community. May it go to Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, wherever it's needed. So we're going to sing Ya Salam. It means literally, oh, peace. But in Islam, there's the tradition of invoking, they call them the 99 beautiful names of God. So you're invoking the divine power. You're invoking the spirit of peace. So that's Ya Salam. And then O Say Shalom is a very powerful Hebrew prayer. And literally it means, may the one who makes peace in the heavens also make peace here on earth. And I might add, make peace in our hearts. That's O Say Shalom. And then we'll sing Om Shanti Om from Sanskrit and yogic traditions. So it goes like this. Maybe I'll just preview it. Should I preview it? Nah, they'll catch on. Okay. Here we go. Just... Ya Salam, Ya Salam, oh say Shalom. Ya Salam, Ya Salam, oh say Shalom. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti Om. I know that I am home. Please fill my soul. Please make us Ya Salam, oh say Shalom. Ya Salam, Ya Salam, oh say Shalom. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Shanti Om. I know that I am home. Peace fill my soul. Peace make us whole. Peace fill my soul. Peace make us whole. Breathing in peace. Breathing out love. May it be so.
Beautiful. May it be so. Let us take those thoughts now into our time of meditation together. And go inside and affirm. Peace lives and dwells in me. Om Shanti. Salam Shalom. Peace. Peace is my name. Peace I am. Peace I will be. Peace I carry in my heart. The peace with which I came into this world. The peace that was mine from the beginning of time. I access that now. Say that to yourself. I access and fully open and willingly express peace in my heart, my life, in my world. Peace. Peace is my name. Dwell for a moment in the quiet of your heart and feel the warmth and the tenderness and the holiness of that peace that dwells in you. O blessed and Holy Spirit, you are my peace. You gave to me in the beginning that beautiful peace, and then I accepted it. I accept it now. Carry it forward in my very being. To live in peace is my dream. Say that to yourself. To live in peace is my dream. To live in peace is my purpose. Affirm that as well. To be a beacon of light and peace is my role in this life. To be peace in every moment is my gift to myself and to the world. Om Shanti. Salam Shalom. Feel now the breath of peace flowing through you. Out your fingertips, out your heart, out your mind, out from your whole being. The peace that you feel in this moment is the peace that will heal the world. Commit now to bringing it into reality through your very being. Make peace your name. Make love the vehicle for that peace. And make purpose that peace for sharing. Another moment of quiet just to say thank you, sweet spirit. Thank you. Peace is my first name. Peace is my middle name. Peace is my name forever. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Holy One. And so it is. Amen.
Children gunned down by weapons of war, families torn apart. I see red, I wanna lash out at the ones that act so cruel, but hate can never drive out hate. Vengeance is the path of a fool. Love is the answer. I know it's true. Love is the answer. Only love can pull us through. Friends of mine feel danger from a surge of bigotry. How can I stay silent and pretend that I don't see? I hold a picture in my mind of my great-granddaughter's face, and I know I need to do my part to make this world a kinder place. Love is the answer. Feel free to sing along. I know it's true. I know it's true. us through. Luther King showed us how to stand strong for what is right, and he never let hatred cloud his loving sight. Love is the answer. I know it's true. Love is the answer. Only love can pull us through. Love is the answer. I know it's true. Love is the answer. Only love can pull us through. Only love can pull us through.
What did you think of Xana's comment that she's okay with this being the last day of 2023? And that's interesting because the topic for this Sunday is, how did we grow in 2023? It's kind of a challenging question if it's been a year of struggle, of turmoil. And there's been so much of that throughout this world, throughout this year. Is it possible that through all the struggle worldwide, that there is growth occurring, that there is, I'm talking about inner evolution, inner awakening. And so that question relates to each of us, doesn't it? Is it possible that we are growing, we are evolving, we are awakening, despite looking back over this past year and just saying, I'm ready for it to be over? There's three ways that I can think of right offhand that we might be growing, evolving, awakening. And one of them is the real obvious one, the one where you look back in the year and you figure out that moment. Maybe you had set an intention, as Lynn talked about, that powerful word, an intention. Maybe there was an intention you had, or something happened that just sort of shook you and you made a shift. I remember that shift I had. It wasn't this year. It was some time ago where I decided I can make my bed every morning. And then somewhere along the line, I shifted back. But still, there was an important shift. I had read once that the great poet Robert Frost had this sort of mantra. And he said, when he makes his bed in the morning, he's making his mind at the same time, setting an intention. So perhaps during this year, you had one of those shifts and you felt that you've been holding on to it, that you've grown from it. And I hope that you, if you just take a little bit of time to reflect on it, you might find, to your surprise, that there was something, maybe something that you overlooked, but it's there. So there's that kind of growth. Then there's the growth that is under the surface, but it's happening. It's subtle. And I think this relates to that unity principle which says, you have a divine essence within you. There is a power within you. There is an intelligence that's deeper than your intellectual intelligence. You see that happening in every cell of your body. There is things at work. And so, what is that subtle thing that might be happening, kind of like this gentle hum in the background? And it might feel not like growth, but just to sense this positive feeling that there is something good that happened this year. Maybe it might be something as just feeling the joy of connection. Maybe it's connection within this community. And you may not realize it, but joy is growth. As you start to enjoy life, that subtle energy percolates through every cell of your being. So think about if you've not only maybe had some clear shift, some clear awakening, but have you noticed just this subtle sense that something is happening in your life, something subtle? So that's another kind of growth. And I think it's a reflection that there is a power within you, there's a power within your life that's moving, even when it's not through conscious intention. And then there's this other kind of, I don't know if we're ready to call it growth, but it still is. And that is when you look back and you say, I went through so much pain. And at this moment, it may not feel like growth. It may be something that you still are resisting and maybe resenting that something happened. And so there's a sense of conflict. Yet it's part of your life. It's part of this power that's moving in your life. And we don't want to assign any positive terminology to something that feels so painful, because that would almost be like what? It would almost be like surrendering to it, wouldn't it? It would be giving up the fight against it, whatever it is. But is it possible that that's a stage in growth, right? Is it possible that, boy, when you step back and you look at the evolution of this world, how much of that evolution emerged out of struggle and strife? Well, in Len's song that we heard the words Martin Luther King, right? We heard that name. Just take in for a moment, breathe in the pain, the struggle that person witnessed and was part of. It wasn't just Martin Luther King, it was everybody connected to that struggle. And in a lot of ways, that struggle continues for civil rights. for human rights around the world, doesn't it? And yet we know that struggle is an essential part of the growth, the evolution of this world. So it's interesting, isn't it, how we can accept that for the world, but it's a little more difficult to accept that the struggles we go through are part of our growth. That's a little more personal. And the last thing we want is somebody like me coming along and saying, oh yeah, it's so great you're going through all that. No, it's not great. What it is it's life, isn't it? It's life. And boy, 2023 was just filled with life, wasn't it? A lot of life going on. 2023. I have spoken to some people today and invited them to come up and share some aspect of how life carried them forward this year, carried them in that movement of spiritual and personal growth. Sometimes against our will, sometimes with our will, sometimes unconsciously. So I've invited a few people to do that, and I'm going to ask you to be present to the power of life that might want to carry you forward and share with our community for just a minute or two some experience, some shift, some awakening, some joy that has evolved for you during this past year. It may not be ready to be called joy yet. Maybe it's still the struggle. But yet, in this moment, perhaps, you're able to see how it is part of this movement, this power, carrying us forward. So as each person comes forward, I will just feel the flow of what's happening in our community, and I will share my own thoughts. But if you feel that movement carrying you forward to want to share, I'm going to set just a limit, a time limit, but just a few minutes for sharing. If you feel that movement in you to share with this community, then at some point before you speak, I invite you to just come up and sit closer so I'll know that there is somebody ready to speak. But the first person I'm going to invite to share with us here on this last day as we're ready to step, not quite, it's going to happen in a few more hours into that new year, but to help us carry forward with that sense of growth is Grace Raphael. Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Grace. It takes courage, doesn't it? It takes courage.
Is this the microphone? Okay. Hi again, everybody. Thank you, John, for asking me to do this. He said, is there something you might have gone through and come out the other side sort of thing? And I went, oh, yeah. So this morning, I did a meditation with Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements, one of my favorite go-to spiritual lesson book. And the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Use your word in the direction of truth and love. And I believe that, and I try to do that, so I'm trying to do that here in a very short way. So a little bit before this year, I had the opportunity to have my home sold that I was renting and had to leave and didn't really have anywhere to go. And then I got a a place to go, sort of interim. So I moved, and then I moved 4 more times. and 3 of them in this year, and to California and back. So in this process, I lost my spiritual community down there, which was huge, my furniture, and my significant other, who left with no explanation, just goodbye. That was 6.5 years, so that was kind of a surprise on top of everything else. So there were other things too, but you know, these are things that happen to everybody, right? I mean, or like that, or there's worse things, there's less things, but these were my things. And so what I did was I got busy, and I used my tools, and I worked my tools, and these are the tools that I have learned work for me. I continued with a prayer partner who I've had a once-a-week talk, long talk, and prayer work with for like over 10 years. And she lives across, can you hear me? She lives across the country, and I've only met her once, but she is an angel in my life. So I used her and her wisdom and somebody to talk to. I did daily meditation, like daily, no matter what. I did affirmative prayer along with that daily. I did spiritual reading and writing from the people I love and some new ones. And I did spiritual courses on, if you don't know, Insight Timer. It's an amazing free thing you can do online, and I use it all the time. I worked on manifesting a relationship because I like to be in relationship, and even though, or despite conventional wisdom of my friends and good doers, you'll never find somebody, and men at this age don't want a relationship, you know, they're not out there, and if there is any, there's very few, and I would say thank you, and I only need one. So I don't really care how many are out there, I just want the one right one, right? Let's see what else. Yeah. And I dedicated myself to finding a new spiritual community because that's so important for me to get that love and sense of community and to share my gifts, which is wonderful. And I started with Unity, and I'm still here. Thanks to all of you. Thank you. And especially to an angel we all know as Reverend Inga, who supported me and still does, and accepted me. I also manifested that relationship, and actually 2 relationships, because I got a new puppy. So I got even more than I asked for. So I'm still daily praying, meditating, and I'm giving my gift through music and prayer with others, you. So just real quick, I'm almost done. I do, like what John said, I see challenges as opportunities to grow. And I wasn't born with this. It took me a long time to realize that's what's going on in my life. And I can take this opportunity, or I can sit in resentment and fear, and I just don't, I'm not saying I never do it, but I don't do it for very long because it doesn't serve me. And I believe we are all extensions of Divine Spirit. We're denied nothing. I believe we were able to manifest our good in life. And these are the tools I use to get to this good, to work this good, to accept this good, and love-filled life that I have. And you, all of you, are bearers of this truth in living your truth and demonstrating to others through your good life, because your life is good. We're here. We're alive. Life is good. So these are my tools find your own tools, I would say tools are great things for anything, and even spiritual connection. And use the wisdom out there that moves your heart, the people that speak to you, the authors, the singers, the leaders. And try prayer, because all of our chaplains are here for you. It is our joy to share our prayers with you and for you. And you are giving us the opportunity to give our gift, which is precious. I mean, it's like, makes me the happiest thing in the world. So thanks for letting me do, hopefully only 5 minutes.
Let's just bless Grace. Just hold her in our hearts for sharing with us. I gave her ample opportunity to prepare, and I know some of you who are just sitting there wondering, there is going to be a moment here. I'm going to invite you to come forward if you want to share something briefly. And I know you haven't had any time to prepare, so that's fine. But another person who is here to share is my friend, Ali Maggio.
Hi.
Just a couple inches away.
I didn't have ample time to prepare. I have nothing written down, but I think this year for me has been the most intensely tumultuous year of my entire life, I think. And that's been completely internal, really. There hasn't been a lot of external situations that I can talk about that have been really difficult for me. But internally, I've faced, I think what's come up with me is that everything that has been slightly out of balance in any way in my life has all been shown to me this year. And I take that as a really beautiful blessing, but it's been incredibly painful. Anything where I feel like I've been out of line with my true self in the way I live today, any patterns I've had in the past. Closer? I don't want everybody to hear so loudly. No. Patterns that I've created over my past, just generational issues that have been passed down, patterns that I've seen through the men over the generations in my life that have been passed to each other. All of that I feel like has come to this intense crash into my life this year. And I've had no other choice but to face each one of those details of every part of my life and the parts of my ancestors, even my family, that have all their mistakes and out of imbalances in our lives. And at first it was just drop me to the ground. Like, what is happening here? And after a while I just sort of understood what it's really all about, and have been able to address every bit of that in a way that is completely positive, and find out where I need to make adjustments in my life and how to walk through my life as my true self. And this community here has been part of one of those adjustments for me, and I really appreciate that in so many ways. So I feel that I'm seeing now that it's not it felt so personal, and it all is my personal issues that I'm dealing with, but I'm seeing how globally it's being, we're all affected by it. And I was happy to hear you say, like, you're okay with 2023 being gone. But I realized how much the most painful experiences in my life have turned into the most, not necessarily the most beautiful yet, but I feel like they're all being polished and all being changed. And I feel like in a lot of ways, when you look at what's happening globally and all the pain of the wars and all the wars that don't get any press, all the genocide that's happening in Africa every day that isn't big news all the time, all of that pain on a global scale is all of our pain. And I feel like some of us who are extra sensitive to that are taking that on these days, and maybe hopefully lightening it for the people who are really going through it. And so I feel like taking on that pain for our brothers and sisters in all over the world who are deeply suffering, I'm also happy to take a little bit of that from anybody I could. And also, by healing myself inside, I know that helps to heal everybody else. So I see a light through this year and through all of our lives and in this beautiful community, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being a part of that healing for me as well.
Do you feel how deep people, sometimes have to dig and are willing to share with us? So blessings. Let's just bless Allie for opening your heart to us. All right. Who's ready to come forward now? Justice.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, John. Thanks for those words, Allie and Grace. So in this year, I've taken on some challenges. I quit my job to pursue music full time, and so I did 3 recordings and one I'm working on now, and I invited singers to sing with me on my concert. And those are all big challenges because I have this big streak of wanting to be perfect. Like part of me is not okay with rough edges. And so my growth edge there is allowing things to be a little imperfect. It's not something that I've figured out, but it's something that I'm willing to face. And every time I look at a new part of my album, it's like it's a growth opportunity. Okay, we're going to look at this even though I'm scared to do it because I know that it will push up against my perfectionism. And and with the support of my friends, my peers, I'm able to keep going and keep looking at this. All right, thanks.
Tom Titus.
Two inches. It's a recipe for exploding peas. I know I didn't make my bed this morning. because John asked me to do this about 15 minutes ago. If I had made my bed, maybe I would have known what I was going to say. I saw a really beautiful post this morning. It was a blog post that quoted pretty extensively from the really wonderful poet and philosopher John O'Donohue. You've heard his words here before, and paraphrasing wildly, essentially what and John's gone now, and he didn't have an easy life necessarily. I mean, among other things, he left the priesthood, and I think that was really a huge transition for him. And a lot of his writing is about stepping through doors and unfolding, which is a huge part of our message here at Unity. So I'm looking back on 2023, and I'm not so sure about the idea that I'm happy it's over, because I usually say, be careful what you ask for in 2024. So, but it is an opportunity to reflect, and there were a couple of things that happened for me. One was a door that I stepped through willingly. In fact, I knocked on it and it opened for me, and that's a new collaboration with my writing with a wonderful guitarist, Don Latarsky. And Don and I are having a great time with this. One of the big blessings to me here is the part that Laura and Ryan have had in that, and giving us an opportunity to contribute to the Connecting from the Heart project. So I just wanted to acknowledge them, and a lot of gratitude for that. The other opportunity I was drug kicking and screaming into, my mother passed last summer. I am not the firstborn, but I am the oldest of 4 boys, and managing her estate has fallen to me. I can't imagine a worse person to be doing that. I would have had an older brother. He left at 3 months of age. So my position here was actually born of tragedy. I really resonate with the idea of the intergenerational trauma that we have to deal with, and the recognition that that plays now in our present lives, and the opportunities that it presents to heal. So I've become executor of this estate, not because I asked for it, but because circumstances dictated that for me. And I have to say, it's been really difficult and given me more than I could ever possibly imagine, because generally speaking, my life is pretty full, and as one wise person who happens to live across the street from me has pointed out, when your life is already full and more things come in, it can be really difficult. So, but I'm so grateful for that opportunity, and it has opened my eyes to how blessed I am to have the family that I have. People often say, one of the first things they hear when they know that I'm going through this is, well, what are you fighting about? It's the first question. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What a blessing. So, another wise person who I happen to have known since the 7th grade has likened our presence in this world to a coyote, and I love this. He says a coyote comes to the ridge, and they sit, and they look behind, and they look around, and they look forward. So looking forward now, I see more opportunity for growth, more creative unfolding, more reaching out to people for the help that I need when I come from a family who does not ask for help. That's going to be a big unfolding for me in 2024. And I'm excited about that, even though I know that those doors are not going to be easy ones necessarily to step through. So I'll leave you with a blessing, and that is, may peace find you in any of its multitude of forms.
So I opened the door to something here today that I think needs to be continued later on, because our service time is reaching an end. So if you are somebody who would like to share with the community, just reach out to me, and we're going to create more opportunities, because this is a huge part of what Unity is trying to do, is model this idea that the Spirit is in every one of us. There is wisdom in every one of us. Too often it's about the speaker, the minister, whatever, and we are blessed with this community of seekers, of people who are tuning in to that inner wisdom. So let's just take a moment to be grateful for this unfolding power of Spirit that is happening here in this community and is shining out into this world to bring forth what I am envisioning as the greatest year ever. May we hold that in our hearts for ourselves, for this world. Let it be our prayer that the Spirit of life, the Spirit of love, shines greater than ever before through us, through all beings. And may it be so. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace. Shalom.
We have been blessed by all that's been experienced this morning, and now it's time to return those blessings. So I invite you to take your love offerings and share with us this blessing, this affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust God.
I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. To a place where we'll be safe.
To die.
I pray we'll find your light.
Nel cuore resterà.
And hold it in our hearts.
A ricordarci che
stars go out each night.
La tena stella sei. Nella mia preghiera.
Let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è.
When
lead us to a place.
Guide us with your grace.
Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia, di speranza. Ognuno dica Manuel sto vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità. La forza che ci dà
We ask that life be kind
e desiderio te.
and watch us from above.
Ognuno trovi amore
We hope each soul will find
interno dentro sé.
another soul to love.
Let this be our prayer,
Let this be a prayer,
just like every child
just like every child
needs to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. E la fede che hai acceso in noi, sento che ci
Wow, indeed. So I want to invite any newcomers to join us after the service. And if you haven't received a welcome packet yet, the ushers can help you with that. There is a sunflower table in the fellowship hall where you might want to sit so we can find you and welcome you today. And do we have our love offerings ready for blessing yet? Where'd they go? Well, in absentia. We are so grateful for all we have received here today. Abundance is ours, and we spread that abundance of love, goodwill, support for one another, for we are all ministers to minister to one another, to share our presence of love and light, for this opportunity to be of service, and for all the blessings. We are truly grateful, and so it is. Amen. And we have some chaplains with us this morning. I saw Andy back there with a white shawl. Would you stand, please, Andy, so people can recognize you? Bev and Grace. And there is Julia. And these lovely people. Yes. And these lovely people will be on that side of the sanctuary to be with you in prayer. If you have anything at all that you want to share, whether yourself or for a loved one, feel free to ask prayer for yourself. It's okay to pray for yourself, really. So with that, let us sing our closing song.
Let there be peace on earth
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.